सुश्री दिव्या शर्मा, नया मंगल, पंजाब। श्रेष्ठ दिव्यांगजन दृष्टि बाधिता श्रेणी।
First, today I am in conversation with Divya Sharma. She is a president awardee and inspirational speaker, RJ, corporate writer, and disability activist. So, how are you, Divya ma'am?
Thank you so much, Rona, for having me here. How are you?
I am also doing well, ma'am. And Divya ma'am, I would like to know your journey as a disability activist. Like, how did this happen actually? I mean, when did you start karate journey? And you just won blue belt, across pan India. So, how did this idea cross your mind to go through in this journey, like learning karate and all?
Ronak, see, my disability journey started 15 years back, but when I was in class 8, I was told to leave school because of my disability, and none of the mainstream schools gave me admission because of the regional requirement. So I decided at that tender age that I will do something in the sector, and I will do everything from my small town where I live, near Nangal, Punjab. So at that time, I was doing schooling, then I did graduation, post graduation. So while I was doing graduation and post graduation, I started doing conferences. People used to call me for conferences where I used to create awareness regarding persons with disabilities. Then I entered into my sensitizing sessions where I go to schools, institutions, and organizations and talk about how PWDs work and what are the technologies and how Right to Education Act makes it mandatory that every school and education institution give admission to persons with disabilities. So this way I started, and slowly I ventured into different areas of disabilities, offline, online. I did some programs. So I have been doing in this sector for like more than 15 years now. Yeah.
So, ma'am, you are a disability activist. So, I mean, what kind of work you do in your foundation, or I mean, do you run a foundation or NGO or any company?
See, by profession, I'm a corporate writer, which is a different thing. But by passion, I'm a disability activist. So I'm individually associated with different organizations. And on my individual basis, I do sensitizing sessions where corporates and organizations call me for sensitizing sessions, and I create awareness. Otherwise, I'm associated with Radio Run also, which is an
Wow.
online radio station which is run by persons with disabilities. So I'm the content manager and archer there, and have been with them since first day in 2014. So they also have been doing my shows and different activities. And other organizations I'm associated with, helping them directly and indirectly. So I'm trying to create awareness in every possible way. Yeah.
And Divya ma'am, how did you feel when you got awarded by the President of India? I mean, what was the journey, and how did did they send you any invitation, or what was the complete procedure? I mean, and how did you feel? Did you feel excited or what?
See, obviously, it's a moment of pride that it's the highest. I mean, one of the highest awards in India, and I received it for my disability sector work and for my personal achievements. I would like to tell the viewers that I received this award because of my individual excellence, for my achievements, and for my work in disability sector. So there is a nomination process, and somebody nominated me for this award, and I got to know about this award only on 22nd November 2023. I know the date, and we received this award on 3rd December 2023. So the entire experience was very nice, very unusual, and I feel blessed with God's grace. I received this award, and I got the chance to meet President Ma'am, and create awareness at that level also. So it was a good experience as a whole, and I feel decades of work has somehow got recognized. Though I never started my work or my activities for disability sector or for my achievement, personal achievements for any recognition or awards. But when they come along and you get recognized, that is a obviously a good feeling.
And Divya ma'am, you got interviewed by, I mean, great celebrity called Karan Johar. So, I mean, what are the lessons which we can learn from successful figures like Boman Irani and Karan Johar, Shah Rukh Khan? So, what did you learn from them? At least two lessons, right? You want to share?
See, my experience. See, I interviewed Mr. Karan, Mr. Johar, and I was invited by CIFF, Investor International Film Festival, which took place in March this year. I was there in Taj for 5 days, and I got an opportunity to create inclusion and talk about inclusion there. So I got to talk to different celebrities, and the highlight was, of course, Mr. Karan, whom I interviewed and asked five questions. It was around 8 or 9 minutes of interview. So I got to talk to him, interact with him regarding inclusion, and he very politely spoke to me regarding inclusion and how they think of it, and how they be include it in the movies in upcoming times. So he answered it in a very well way. Otherwise, I had a chance to meet Mr. Boman Irani, who is such a gentleman. I would say he is very nice and very down to earth person. I met him twice during the event, and he was very polite, very nicely. He spoke to me, and otherwise also he had depth knowledge of the area also. So as a whole, it was a good experience. And about Shah Rukh Khan, I hope that one day I will meet him. But he has always been my inspiration somehow. I drive my inspiration from, because whenever I'm down, feeling down low, or disappointed, rejections, I drive my inspiration from Mr. SRK, Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah.
And ma'am, you are a phenomenal RJ. Your voice is melodious. So, how did you feel when you met Shreya Ghoshal, ma'am?
See, it was a coincidence, total coincidence, because if, I would like to tell my viewers that I was invited by President Ma'am for tea on 26th January 2024, President House. So I went there with my mom as my escort. So therein, I got to meet Mr. Narendra Modi and President Ma'am, of course, and French President and many other dignitaries. So therein only Shreya Ghoshal was there. So I got a chance to say hi to her and exchange a few words, because she was just rushing out, but we had a chance to exchange a few words. So it was a good experience. I mean, I must say some people are humble, not just on screen, but offline too. Yeah.
So, ma'am, as you previously mentioned that you got an opportunity to meet with, the Prime Minister. So, I mean, how did you feel when you meet him? Or, I mean, what was the word he conveyed with you? You know, anything you want to share?
Uh, I was nervous. I was the only visually challenged person that evening, and there was a lady sitting next to me, a wheelchair user. So I was talking to her, and I said, Mr. Modi is coming. I'm nervous. Should I just extend my hand and shake hands? Because generally these heads leaders don't shake hands. They will just do namaste. So people who can see, they will just exchange greetings that way. But I wanted to feel the presence, so I wanted to shake hands. So they said, no, he is accompanied by 10, 15 guards. They may hush your hand, you can't shake hand. But I wanted to make sure that I will make it happen, and I didn't want to carry the regret later on that I he was there and I didn't even shake my hand. So I just extended my hand when he was saying namaste. I just extended my hand, and for a few seconds I think he observed me, and then he shook hand with both his hands, and
Right.
he just said, "Oh, आप कैसे हैं?" Then I also switched to Hindi. Usually I speak in English. So I said, "Hello sir, मैं ठीक हूँ, आप कैसे हैं?" तो कहते हैं, "हम ठीक है, आपके लिए हमेशा," he just said, हम हमेशा आप लोग के लिए आपके साथ हैं. So
Mm.
these are few lines he spoke at that moment. So that was a good experience. And then he had I had a selfie with him also. So it was a good experience. I mean, meeting Prime Minister and having a word with him, especially. Yeah.
And Divya ma'am, you are such a phenomenal speaker and corporate, writer. So, I mean, did this idea ever crossed your mind of writing a book in this sector? I mean, in this area of expertise of yours. I mean, writing book idea crossed your mind or not till now?
See, I mean, corporately, I'm doing writing for companies in India and Dubai and US, but that sort of writing is very formal, professional, and, dry kind of stuff. But this sort of writing I've never thought of, but many people have, asked me if I want to write a kind of a book regarding my journey or otherwise as a whole. So maybe in 10 years I may think of it, not now, because already too much of research work and writing on my professional
Mhm.
professional side. So it's not that I mean, I don't get that creative piece, I can write it right at the moment, but definitely I will come up with some books, yeah, in future.
And Divya ma'am, I'd like to know about your journey. I mean, I was watching your video on YouTube on the channel of BBC News. You have faced a lot of criticism, lot of, I mean, bad comments. So, how did you get through from that, past events or that kind of dilemma, or how did you deal with that, that sort of people in your life?
See, it was never so easy, but I'm glad that I never gave up. There were moments when I wanted to give up, because obviously, especially starting from that school incident, when I was told to leave school because of the disability, and none of the schools in my city and surrounding cities gave me admission. So at that time, I decided, only I have to do something about this. अगर मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगी तो शायद कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा. So I just made up my mind, and with the guidance of my parents, they said, you can go for correspondence studies. So I did my both 10th, 12th, and then graduation from Himachal University, Public Administration, Political Science, and Sociology. Then MA in English from Punjab University. Everything I did it correspondently from this small town, Yanangal. Because
Right.
at that time I decided everything I will do from here. So whether it's my studies, whether all the awards I have received, whether it's Punjab State Award which I received in 2016, whether it's NCPD Universal Award, Emphasis Award, or this President Award, everything I have received from this small place. And currently I'm working also from this place, Yanangal. So I believe if you don't give up, things turn out. Obviously, it's not that easy. You have to keep on listening to people. Sometimes people are brutal, but it's up to you how you take it. So that way things were okay. I just kept on going and moving ahead, and simultaneously, when I was at home, because in small cities, people usually go to the bigger cities. So at that time, my siblings, friends went to bigger cities for better opportunities. So at that time, I had plenty of time to spend on other activities to upskill. So I started playing guitar, ukulele, and harmonium, tabla. So these things I introduced in my life. So it has been difficult, but it's okay. I mean, kept on going, and
You're
yeah.
right.
And then later I ventured into karate and martial arts. Yeah.
Mm. So, ma'am, I mean, apart from all these things, how did you, I mean, start your journey as a RJ? I mean, you thought that I should give it a try. I mean, how did this idea cross to your mind to become an RJ?
See, we were a few friends, visually challenged friends in 2013, 14. We thought, there has to be some station or something that hear the needs and aspirations of PWDs, and that gives a stage to persons with disabilities to, come ahead and share their views, thoughts, and ambitions. So we started that, and at that time I thought, okay, this is a good thing. I have to contribute through that. Also, though it's a voluntary thing, I would say it's been more than 10 years, and I have never taken even a single penny from this venture, of course. So it's like a baby for us, and I've been doing my inspirational shows and English shows there. To upskill, and many it feels good when people say they could do their banking exams, or they could do their different exams because of the English part of the exam with the help of my shows. So it feels good. I mean, to engage with PWDs and create awareness. So this way we started, and it has been a good journey there. Yeah.
राइट. और दिव्या मैम, आपकी जर्नी बहुत ही ज्यादा इंस्पिरेशनल है और
Thank you.
बहुत सारे लोग आपसे इंस्पिरेशन लेते हैं. तो मैं आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगा कि हाउ टू डील विथ क्रिटिसिज्म, लाइक यू हैव डील विथ क्रिटिसिज्म अ लॉट. सो I mean, explain in detail, like how to deal with difficult mind people, negative mind people, toxic people, people, and how to manage stress. So, what are your insights upon this?
See, I know it's not that easy. If I say you can do this, you will say, it's just another person saying it's easy or you can do it. But it's not that easy. You need to be, stubborn towards your goal, towards your aspiration. So I feel initially it used to hurt me. Sometimes even today, people will be sometimes brutal. They will say something. But with time, you get used to it, and you have to be thick-skinned. आपको से मतलब ठीक है इफेक्ट करता है, maybe once in a week it will affect you, but it's up to you how long you want it to impact you. You can cry over it a night or an hour, but just left it there then, because you can't just answer everybody. And I think criticism is somewhat a good thing. Maybe initially it feels like very torturous or very saddening or very negative, but if you take it in a positive way, you get the fire to you get a kick, if I say in a slang language, to keep on doing what you are doing. So it's hard, and they are toxic people, but they are good people also. So you just
Right.
focus on yourself, focus on yourself. Yeah.
You have shared very practical thing that there are a lot of theoretical advices, but
Yeah.
एट द एंड ऑफ द डे हमें फेस करना होता है, सीख सीख के आगे बढ़ना होता है, राइट? सो दिव्या
Yeah.
मैम, you are a phenomenal person. You are doing motivational speaking, seminars, activist, corporate writing, and many more. So how did you manage time? What are your advices on time management, and how do you, deal with such loads of work?
Uh, See, one thing I admire about myself is I know I'm bragging, but yes, I am very disciplined when it comes to things. And, I know ki I have to give time to everything. So I try to be disciplined. Maybe not every day, but I try to follow a routine. And I make sure I do 1 hour of workout every day. And, my office hours, I will work. And then I have to do shows 3 days in the week. I spend 1.5 hours on show, recording, editing, and then uploading everything, that thing. And then simultaneously, I'm creating some content on Instagram also these days to create awareness regarding normal people, so-called normal people regarding PWTs. So I feel if you have that dream or if you have that, kind of feeling that you want to do something, you figure out time. And sometimes I feel I'm too hard on myself, but I think that's okay. You
Hmm.
have to be disciplined when things won't go the way you want them to be. And many days they don't go even that way, but that's life. We have to deal with it. Yeah.
राइट. सो दिव्या मैम, अपने टाइम मैनेजमेंट बहुत क्रूशियल चीज है, और यू आर डूइंग वर्कआउट आल्सो एंड एवरीथिंग यू मैनेज, simultaneous editing and all corporate works. So what are your advices upon the people who wants to do lot of things at the same time? So do you believe in multitasking, or you are one work at one time?
See, it depends. It varies from person to person. If you think you can manage two things, three things, that's okay. But there's no, no one thing, you have to do this way or that way. If I say you can manage everything, that would be wrong. If I say you can't manage everything, that would also be wrong. So it's up to you. It depends on you. Because like, if I talk about, like, I love doing things. So I do it only when I get time. I don't make it a routine because I know I can't just include it in my routine. If I include, I won't be able to do justice to my work as well as
Hmm.
to cooking. I try to do things as much as I can, otherwise I leave them for the day because I don't want anything should suffer. The quality of my work, the quality of radio shows, the quality of fitness session. I don't want, it is being done for doing sake. It has to be productive. So
Right.
that way I feel that's why I'm saying it depends on the person. Some people are morning people, some people are night people. So people have their different ways of managing things. But for me, if you talk about, I'm a multitasker for sure. I just keep on doing simultaneously, different things in a day. Yeah.
So Divya ma'am, as you mentioned that it is actually depend upon the, people's mindset, that how they think about their work, and how do they manage things. So what are your advices upon productivity? Like, you manage so much things, so how to manage things efficiently and effectively according to you?
See, the lesser distractions are there, the better it is.
Hmm.
So try to keep your phone on silent when you're working or doing some activity because it will keep on distracting, and that's the main problem these days. And see, I have experienced if you are, efficient, you will finish the work which you generally do in 5 hours, you will do it in 3 hours. So it's all about your focus. If you're well focused, you will bring efficiency in life. Otherwise, you can take, the entire day for a work of an hour. So that is again a quality, and that comes with patience and practice. So I feel again this depends on person to person. But yes, stay focused and less distractions are better.
Right. So, you are a phenomenal public speaker. So, how to deal with stage fear? Like, you have, motivated thousands of people via stage. So, how did you? What was your first experience of delivering a talk? In front of hundreds of people, and what are your advices upon facing and encountering such fears? Right.
See, to me it came naturally, I would say, because I don't remember when did I do my first stage, but yeah, I do remember first time I faced the media. It was in 2014 or 15 again in Shimla for a press conference. I was invited, and there were many cameramen and people who were asking questions from here and there. So I think that gave me a very good experience, thanks to Umang Foundation. So Mr. Ajit Srivastava, so he called me for that interview and kind of conference. So that gave me a boost. And sometimes I feel your disability is not always a barrier. Sometimes
No.
it is an advantage. I look at it in that way. Because see, whenever I'm on the stage, I can't see the audience. So I'm in my own zone, right? So I don't get feared or I don't get afraid. I know the way I'm speaking here, the way I'm speaking behind the mic
Camera.
when I'm
Hmm.
recording my video show, it's for me the same, right?
Right.
So that way I think it contributes. And I feel the more you talk to people, the more confident you become. So just keep on interacting, because the more you will interact, the more confidence will come, and it will
Right.
show up in your body language too. Yeah.
And Divya ma'am, you are such an incredible person. I don't have any words, and I have no words actually. The work you are doing and the way you are inspiring, people. So, what are your advices for the people who is suffering, a trauma, like healing? So, what are your advices on managing, past traumas or dealing with stress? How to deal with stress, right?
See, from my experience, I will say, otherwise, obviously, I'm not an expert in psychology, but yes, I can say that, the more you do physical work like exercise or any kind of activity, even a small activity, if you don't know how to cook it and you cook some like a chapati or something, the contentment and the confidence it gives, it helps you heal from your past, no
Right.
matter what kind of past it was, or whether you were discriminated, whether you were, bullied, or anything,
Right.
any sort of thing. So
Right.
it's up. I feel that the contentment your efforts bring is matchless. Okay, so you have to think about your present. Obviously it's hard, even sometimes I'm saying it, but even sometimes I find it difficult to be in past, being present, I want to say. So it's up to you how you channelize your energy, and whenever you think about your past, learn from it and just do what is right for you for the future. तो मुझे ये लगता है जो जो सी चीज आपको सबसे ज्यादा डराती है ना, वो चीज आपको जरूर करनी चाहिए. If you
Right.
have a fear of something, do it for sure, and once you do it, you will have a different level of contentment. So I think that is very important, and it helps. Yeah.
Right. And Divya, ma'am, as we are, approaching to the end of podcast, so what are your advices for people who does not have any, confidence in themselves, and actually, despite of having talent, skill, but they are afraid of showcasing or they are afraid of representing because of a kind of internal fear or inbuilt fear. So, what are your advices upon, for these sort of people and how to boost their confidence building?
See, confidence again is something that comes from within, and it comes when you talk to people. I think the best thing you can do for yourself is interact with more people. Okay, if you think that you are not so confident in talking to people, call a customer care person and start talking, discussing about some random issue. Okay, talk to a salesperson, talk to, because you have to work on your confidence level. And if you have that
Right.
excuse, I don't have somebody at home, I don't have somebody friends. See, I was also at home, I didn't have anybody, but I started talking to myself, I started recording. These days, you can just record your voice and listen, record, listen, repeat, restart. So you just keep on listening to yourself and you will get to know where you are lacking. Secondly, try to talk to people as much as you can. These days, social media is there, so it's not that difficult to interact with people.
Right.
Okay, if you don't want to, I'm not saying that you share your personal life or professional life, it's just that you randomly talk to people. Going to a shop, talk to the people, talk to the waiter, talk to the salesperson, talk about the experiences. And one day you will realize that, while you were busy talking to people, you develop that confidence in you. So I feel this is very important. And छोटी छोटी चीजें करो जिसको
Hmm.
आपको जिससे आप थोड़ा प्राउड फील हो एंड अचीवमेंट फील हो, उससे कॉन्फिडेंस अपने आप आ जाता है. So try to do that. Sometimes sometimes if I comb my hair from one right hand, I think okay, today I'm not feeling that motivated. I will start combing from my left hand, which is not my, obviously my writing lefty name. So it also gives you a boost. Okay, you tried something new, something different. Okay, so
Right.
that way you have to keep on challenging yourself, and confidence comes when you interact and work on yourself. Yeah.
Right. And Divya ma'am, what are your advices for the viewers who are watching us, and actually your top three advices which you would like to share with them, that how to achieve their goals? They have, I mean, they have big dreams. So as you are an epitome of a successful person who have achieved so much by going through so much adversities and facing a lot of challenges. So what are your advices for the youth and young people, right?
See, again, three advices would be: first, work on yourself, try to upskill. Nobody is going to be, everybody is there, of course, your family, your friends, your loved ones. But again, at the end of the day, you have to work on yourself. Nobody is going to do things for you. So
Hmm.
upskill, learn something, at least a small thing every day you try to learn, right? So first advice that my first advice would be simple: work on yourself. Second is do exercise, any sort of exercise, whether it's 10 minutes walk, running, treadmill, martial arts, karate, marathon, any sort of, even sports, outdoor sports. Because I feel the more you spend time in front of screen, the more negativity comes these days. So it's better to do some sort of physical exercise, and it will give you an instant boost boost and positivity. So try to be active that way. And third advice would be never give up, because you are also with you, on this journey of life. You are with
Right.
you for a limited time. So try to keep yourself happy, because we often spend time in, keeping other people happy, and by the time we realize it's too late. So try to pamper yourself and try to take good care of yourself, whether it's health and mental health. Talk about your mental health, take care of mental health. It's not just about bodily, but mental health also. So these are the three tips, and just don't, never give up. Try to talk to people and discuss your problems. There's no need to be hesitant. The more you talk, the more solutions will come. So yeah, that's all for, three advice.
दिव्या मैम, ऑन अ पर्सनल नोट, मैंने अभी तक जो भी मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि यू आर अ वेरी डिटरमाइंड पर्सन. आई मीन, आपने थ्रू आउट द पॉडकास्ट यू हैव मेंशन्ड, आई मीन, couple of times that never give up. So, and you have also
Yeah.
never gave up in your life. So you are a very committed person that if I decided it, then it has to be done. So hats off to you, ma'am. And
Yeah, I just
yeah.
tried.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking out your precious time to be on the podcast and inspiring millions of
Thank
people.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronak. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.